Hi, welcome to another Algebra 1 video. This is chapter 2 of Algebra 1, which is about solving inequalities. In this video, we're looking at section 2.1, which is about writing and graphing inequalities. In this lesson, we will learn about writing linear inequalities in one dimension. We will also learn about sketching one-dimensional graphs. We will also try to write inequalities from graphs. So what is an inequality? An inequality is a statement in mathematics that compares the size of expressions. And to do such comparisons, we use some inequality signs. So let's talk about the inequality signs. This sign compares something that is less than something. So let's say you had two numbers and you compared them using this sign. One of the numbers would be bigger than the other one. So say you could have 2 is less than 3. So you could also have 4 is less than 5. So in phrasing, you could call it something is less than some other number. Now this sign is the opposite of this sign. This sign says that something is greater than something else. So you could use a sign to say that 4 is greater than 3. Or you could use it to say 6 is greater than 2. So in terms of phrasing, you could say that this sign is saying that something is greater than some other thing. And here's another inequality sign. Now this sign is a combination of the less than sign and the equal sign. You can see that it has the line from the equal sign and it's combined with the less than sign. So what this sign is saying that something is less than or equal to some other number. So it can be either one of these. So using the sign you could say that 3 is less than or equal to 4. Because 3 is less than 4 even though it's not equal to it. So it's one of them. Or you could also say that 4 is less than or equal to 4, because the sign is also telling you that it could be equal to the other number. So we can use this sign in this equation. And in terms of phrasing, you would use this sign as no more than. Or you could also use it like something is at the most. And here's another inequality sign. This one is greater than or equal to something. So this one is again a combination of this sign, the greater sign, and the equal sign. So some number or some expression can be greater than or equal to some other expression or number. So let's give some examples. 4 is greater than or equal to 3 because 4 is greater than 3 even though it's not equal to 3. And we could also say that 1 is greater than or equal to 1. Although it's not greater than 1, it's still equal to 1. So this inequality is true. And in terms of phrasing, this would be is at least, or also some number is no less than some other number. Now let's write some inequalities based on some sentences. So here we are given that a number w minus 5 is less than 26. We know that we're comparing two numbers using an inequality sign. So here we can see that our first number is w minus 5. So we can write the first number w minus 5, and then we have some inequality sign comparing to some other number. The other number is 26, so we can also write that number. So we know that the less than sign is this one. So we have number 2, which says that the product of a number and 2 is at least 5. So we know the first number would be the product of a number x and 2. Product just means multiplication, so 2 and x are being multiplied. So the first term would be 2x. And then we don't know the inequality sign yet, so let's find the other number. The product of a number x and 2 is at least 5. So the other number is 5. And the keyword here is at least. From here we know at least is the greater than or equal to sign. So our inequality would be 2x is greater than or equal to 5. Now let's learn about graphing some one-dimensional inequalities. We're asked to graph y is less than 1. Based on this inequality, I can see that we have the less than sign. So we know that 1 is not included in the y, and it's only numbers less than y. So I can mark the point where the inequality starts from, and that is not including 1. So we put a circle without it being filled because 1 is not included. And then I can see it's less than 1, so I can draw the line backwards. So all these numbers are true for y. In the second inequality, we're told that y is greater than or equal to negative 8. So I can see that this inequality does include negative 8 because y can equal to negative 8. So I can mark my point at negative 8. And then I'm also told that y is greater than or equal to negative 8. So all these numbers would satisfy this equation that are greater than negative 8. Now let's write some inequalities from graph. So here in this first question, we're given some inequalities that is graphed. Let's say that the variable for this inequality is x. And then we have to figure out the inequality sign and what the x is being compared to. So I can see that the inequality starts from negative 6. And negative 6 is included in this inequality. So it could be either greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. But here I can see that x is greater than or equal to 6 because it includes all numbers that are equal to negative 6 and those that are greater than negative 6. So x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Or in simple terms, you could say x is at least negative 6. Here I have number 2, which is another inequality that is graphed. In this inequality, I can see that it starts from 0, but 0 is not filled. So we're comparing against 0. So we can put what the number is being compared to. And then we have to figure out the sign. Well, we know that it's not filled, so it could be either less than or greater than some other number. But it's gonna be less than 0 because it includes all numbers that are less than 0. Negative 3 is less than the starting point 0. So this is x is less than 0. And this is it for chapter 2.1. I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. Please leave a comment in the comment section and provide some feedback so I can improve my videos in the future. And thanks for watching.